What's going on, sexy lovers? Welcome back to the Sex Mechanic Podcast. I, of course, am your host, the Sex Mechanic, aka Jensen Benoit, aka Mr. Born to Explore, aka Confident Creator, aka I Did It My Way, aka The Exception. And we are back, baby. It's nice to be back in my space. And sorry about the technical difficulties a few minutes ago. It's been a while since I've done YouTube Live. And so there were a couple steps that I kind of forgot before I got started. So I had to make sure that was taken care of and tightened up. But yeah, this is episode number 44, and we are celebrating today, y'all. We are celebrating a very big accomplishment. Today makes a year since I've started the Sex Mechanic podcast. And a lot of you already know this started as a method of self therapy for me, where I felt like I could also possibly help other people get through whatever they're getting through around dating, situationships, relationships, and sex. And I think so far I've accomplished that. I feel like I've definitely gone deep on a lot of different topics, and especially the ones involving, my past relationships and or in some cases present situations. And yeah, I'm really happy with the fact that throughout all of that, the integrity of the show has or the podcast has kind of stayed there, which has been a way for me to get into some issues that either I saw within myself or that I felt like other people may have brought up to me about their situations and that I could also help on. So we've definitely done that this during this time, and so I'm very proud of that, and I'm very proud of the longevity. I mean, a year is not easy to do with anything. That's not, just a natural podcasting is not necessarily a natural thing. So to be able to say that I've done it for a year is something that I definitely I hold in high regard, and I'm proud of, like I said. And I thank all of you who've been here either from the beginning or have joined at some point and have stuck around, or even if you've just stopped by in passing at one point or another. I still appreciate you, and I thank you for that. So first thing we're gonna do is definitely take a drink, have a toast. I am toasting to 1 year, 1 year past, and hopefully many more to come. Cheers, y'all. My bubbly is still bubbling too. Look at that. Can you see that? That's been sitting for about 20 minutes and it's still doing its thing. Gotta love it. I'm gonna let some people come in. I know I haven't done YouTube for a while, so maybe people have gotten used to me being on a different platform, which is IG. I was doing IG for like the last 3 weeks, I believe. So it's nice to be back to my original setup, which is YouTube, as long as I'm not forgetting steps. That's all. That's the important part. So, a few questions. Excuse me. How's everybody doing, first of all, on this lovely hump day, this Wednesday? What's the weather like wherever you're at? If you're an East Coaster, um, what's everything looking like over there? How's your night going? How's your week been so far? If you're a West Coaster, then you're looking at the light just like me. And I missed that. Oh my God. Like, let me be real with y'all, right? Doing the podcast at 9 p.m. and even 8 p.m. was kind of tough because I'm used to doing a podcast at 6 p.m., which is, it's a good time for me. The light is still out. It's not dark or anything like that. So doing it at 9 p.m., now that I go to bed around 11 or 12, it is pushing the limits in terms of, my productivity and my brain being able to function properly. So I am glad to be back on the West Coast doing it at 6 p.m. for sure. Because at 9 p.m. was kicking my ass. But I still appreciate being able to do the podcast and having people join and, still being able to get it done. But I prefer this if I had a choice. And we have covered so many topics around sex, dating, and situationships and relationships. We've talked about what does it mean to be in love. We've talked about me not having sex for over a year. That was my first episode, or not having intercourse for over a year. Um, at that time, of course. We've talked about uh we've talked about sex toys, we've talked about different positions, we've talked about how to improve your sex life. We have really gone into it. We've talked about horror stories and dating. Those are fun and a lot of funny moments that I got to enjoy and also share with you all, and also with whoever the guests were that were talking about that. But yeah, we've gone through a lot. We've definitely talked about a lot. And I would say I have some favorite moments and or favorite episodes for sure. So maybe let's go into, since we're commemorating the 1 year anniversary, let's talk about some of our favorite moments and or favorite episodes. And I would love to hear from you, the audience, what your opinion is. Definitely get in the chat. This is a celebration. So get in the chat, talk about whatever you want to talk about. And I'll read it out loud, and let's go through that way. But some of my favorite moments were, for sure, Joanne's first episode on here, when she talked about her journey of mastering her orgasm and how she got to it, and how it went from, the opposite to getting to where she got to. I always love hearing that story. And it was just all around great episode, and the energy was good too. And I appreciate that. Um, Another one was talking about how to improve your sex life. That was another one of my favorites. And I think my favorite part about that was the fact that it was very interactive. We had, I want to say, a person or two asking, questions about sex and, needing advice while on live. And I really appreciate that, because you all know I like for this to be an interactive experience. I don't want to be talking at you. That's not the type of podcast I'm trying to create here. And so having people actually ask questions and need some level of advice or recommendations at the time, like in real time, that really does it for me. And so that sticks out. I think that was the episode I did in Portland. Yeah, I want to say it's the episode I did in Portland. And I had a lot of fun doing that episode. I had a lot of fun. So yeah, definitely another one of my favorites. I can't forget my first few episodes, which weren't live. Those were actually pre-recorded, and those were ones that I went back and I just, I posted up after I recorded them. But obviously the first one, where I talked about no intercourse for over a year, was like, it set the tone for what this podcast was going to be like. I was going to be totally open and honest with you all as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to know all my business, but at the end of the day, a lot of my business, in terms of um past situations and present situations. So I thought that was important, because yeah, it allowed you all to see that I'm here, and I'm coming with honesty, I'm coming with openness, I'm coming with transparency, and hopefully that allowed you to feel comfortable enough to do the same with me, either through, personal emails like DMing, or in the comment section. And I want to say that allowed people to feel a little bit more comfortable to do that. And I hope so. So those first few episodes are really important. I think I also went into past situationships and things that I had noticed about myself, things that I became aware of over time as I was just self-reflecting and just trying to be as self-aware as possible. And that was important too, to share with other people. So yeah, I'm thankful for those episodes as well. But I've had a lot of fun doing this podcast thus far, and I've had different moments that I can't necessarily remember, but I know were fun, especially the laughs. I enjoy laughing. So those moments that I got to really laugh and just yeah, just enjoy the conversation have been my best moments or my favorite moments for sure. Now, what are y'all sipping on or drinking tonight, if anything? Not pushing it on you. I mean, if you don't feel like drinking, you don't have to drink. But if you are wanting to partake in the celebrations, then what exactly would you be drinking right now? Or what are you drinking? And I do want to hear some of y'all favorite moments as well. Or maybe your favorite moment or episode or guest or whatever on the podcast. That's definitely of interest to me. Mm. I should also share that I'm finally back home after like over a month. I think it's been no, almost a month. Yeah, almost a month away. All right, so Ariel Dominguez says, "Greetings and kisses, my dear friend from Panama. I love it. Thank you. I appreciate you, Ariel. Thank you for tuning in and keeping tabs on the podcast. Do you have a favorite episode or a favorite topic that we've covered so far, Ariel? What I was gonna say, by the way, was, yeah, I'm back for the first time in like weeks, almost a month. It's crazy. I don't know if I've been away from this home for that long, so it's whoa, it's been a lot. But I've had an incredible time with family, friends, and it's been it's been everything I could ask for in terms of traveling around and seeing things and having experiences. I went on a boat trip. I went to a Brooklyn Nets game. Uh, Man, there were so many other things in between too that I don't even remember now. But it was a lot of getting to chill with people that I care about and people that I like being around. And oh, I got plenty of time with my niece this time around. I mean, I was home for damn near 3 weeks, so I got to see her multiple times, and that was cool too. She's starting to really remember who Uncle is, and keep me fresh in her mind. So that's good. It's been really good, really really good. Honestly, it's had its other moments with other things, but for the most part, overall, I can't complain. And y'all know I'm not one to look at the negatives over the positives. So the positives way outweigh the negatives. Um, so yeah, I'm very thankful and appreciative of this whole trip and how I've been able to just kind of make it all the way around. It feels like from San Diego to Seattle, well, San Diego to New York to Florida or Miami, and then to Seattle and back to San Diego. So I've made my rounds around the US, you know what I'm saying, in terms of the points. And I'm happy for it. I had a good trip. Overall good trip. Another great thing that came out of it was the other night when I went out, I had my good dick energy shirt. I'm not wearing it now. Right now I'm wearing my Kegel Day shirt. Again, these are designs by me. Um, I just don't have a distribution channel yet for me to be able to get them out to people, but I'm just testing out different concepts and colors and all that other stuff, designs. But I was wearing my Good Dick Energy shirt and I got many comments on it. Either people saying, they thought it was really clever and enjoyed that part of it, or people saying, hey, what's your IG? Like, where can I get a shirt like that? Or where can I get that shirt? So that was really encouraging for me to get that going and definitely get a distributor so I can get those shirts made for other people, not just myself, because I don't want to be the only one wearing a shirt too. I want it for other people so they can enjoy the shirt and really, wear it proudly or wear it as a wear it however they want to wear it. But I created it not just with me in mind. That's all I'm saying. All right. So Ariel says, I like it. You're all podcast. Oh, so good. I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. I am very thankful that you are enjoying the podcast the way you are. That's great. All right. So I gave y'all some of my favorite moments. Um, we talked about it being a year. And now I got a question for everybody. And obviously, I'll answer the question as well. It's not going to be just for you. But what is the best place you've ever gotten head or given head? See, kind of threw you off a little bit because depending on, what I'm saying, like your situation, it could be a different location. So, what's the most interesting place or interesting location that you've given or gotten head from or in, however you want to say it? Mine is in the car. The last time I got in the car was it was unexpected. And I like that. I like the element of the surprise. For me, I think I've mentioned this before that head is kind of like a warm up for me, for intercourse. Even when it's like, really good, it's kind of like it's nice, but it makes me want to get to the intercourse part of things more than anything else. Unless, the other person is maybe on their cycle and they can't really, go further. In that case, then I'll just try my best to just enjoy the whole experience um, of head alone. But usually it makes me want to go to another part of sex, which is intercourse if that's on the table. So when it happened in the car the last time, it was like I said, it was totally unexpected, and the energy behind it, I'm a big energy person. So for me, the energy dictates a lot of how good any kind of sexual experience is for me. So if the energy is there, which means, an energy of willingness, obviously, openness, a lot of passion, and um, like a lot of desire as well. When that's all there, then it's very hard for the experience to be bad in terms of how it feels. So all those elements were there, and then you throw in the element of a little bit of danger is on the highway and a little bit of, and I'm not saying this so other people can do this. I am not recommending that people do this. I don't know how y'all drive, and I don't know how your driving will be affected if, somebody is down there making you feel some kind of way. So, not suggesting that other people do this. I'm just saying this was my situation. So there's a little bit of element of danger, and then there's also that element of surprise as well. So all that together, it was a very, very pleasurable experience. And there was a buildup of sexual energy up to that point, you know. Um, I had been already anticipating uh some type of sexual interaction that actually didn't happen. So when it happened, it was a surprise and blah, blah, blah. So it was a good time. That's all I'm gonna say. It was a really good time. Um, there were other places I've gotten it before that were interesting as well. Let me see. Maybe not a location, but like how it happened. I remember one time in college when the person I was, dealing with, I was in a situationship with somebody, a friends with benefits situation. And I remember going over to that person's place, and I don't remember how it came to be, but at some point, um, she was in her like her robe. She had just taken a shower not too long before. So she was in her robe, and again, the element of surprise got me, like I wasn't expecting it. I was standing up, and I don't remember if I had just came in or if I had been there for a little bit, but all I remember is that she was in her robe, and she dropped down and, you know, dropped my pants down and just went to work. And it was totally unexpected, but it was super sexy though, especially with the robe on. It was kind of like, oh, because I knew what I was over there for. I was over there for, for that action. And so for us to get started like that, and that wasn't something that she normally did before we got started, it was cool. It was it was nice. I was feeling that. I think the unexpected head is the best kind. I'm starting to really feel like that's really what makes it that much better for me. Because when I don't see head coming, it's like, okay, we could do this. I like this. So I think that element of surprise really, really makes things a lot nicer. And advice for people out there who have a significant other or a lover or whoever, um, throw that element of surprise in there when it comes to head. Because obviously, if you have a sexual relationship with somebody, chances are intercourse is already on the table. And for a lot of people, intercourse is the main thing. It's the main course. It's the main event. It's the one that everybody wants to get to, right? Head is something that sometimes gets forgotten or thrown to the side. And sometimes when you're involved with somebody for a long time, that kind of, just kind of gets thrown out a little bit. Like it's not as regular, and it's not done with the same desire and passion as maybe it once was. So throw that in there sometimes. Surprise your partner with some head. I'm telling you, like either when they're first coming in, maybe from somewhere, from work or something like that, surprise them with some head at the door, or just be creative with it. But just surprise your partner with some head, and I think you'll get some very nice results, because that's one of the best surprises you can get is somebody pulling your pants down and going to work. So just a little bit of advice: if you've got somebody that you mess with, surprise them with some head, and I think they'll be quite happy and satisfied with that. Unless there's somebody that doesn't like head, or maybe doesn't like the way you do it, then it might not. But that's a totally different topic. But if that's not typically a problem, then I say surprise that person with some head, and I think they'll be very pleased with the fact that you did. But yeah, that was another situation that was pretty dope. Oh, another one. I thought about it. Was on a boat, but I mean on a cruise. Not a big deal. People fuck on a cruise all the time. That wasn't the first time I got hit on a cruise, but it was some really, really good head on a cruise though. It was birthday head too, so that made it, you know, that much more. mwah. Not necessarily, but at that, I mean, it happened to be birthday head. That was really good head. So, uh, yeah, it turned out pretty cool. I was very pleased with how that birthday ended that year. That's another question, actually, or a comment I have. My birthday's coming up in a few days. Aries season all day. Y'all already know. I had somebody comment that I got Scorpio vibes, and I was like, nah, this is Aries over here. Aries. But that's if you're into the whole horoscope and signs. I talk, but everybody has a lot of the similar characteristics. But um what I was gonna say was how many people get to experience or have gotten to experience birthday sex, but really good birthday sex too. Like some special birthday sex, like maybe some stuff that you don't usually get when it's not your birthday. I'm curious about that. I would say for me, it hasn't happened often, believe it or not. Um, nah, since I'm not usually in a relationship, no, I wouldn't say it has happened often. No, that that cruise I went on was a pretty dope experience, but that's not the norm. And yeah, I can't say I've gotten like really good or a lot of birthday sex experience. Maybe in college, possibly, but I don't remember. If that happened, that was way too long ago. I don't know, but I think that's something though that I have always like kind of wanted and like kind of not longed for, but something that I desired was definitely some really incredible sex on my birthday. And preferably, it doesn't have to be somebody new, but preferably a new type of experience with somebody, not just the same sexual experience. So I do remember I have an ex that, she did like a little, dance and dance and tease thing for me. That was cool. That was nice. I'm not gonna act like that wasn't cool. But that was back when I was having issues with ejaculation control and erection stuff. So it was cool, but I couldn't really enjoy it the way I would have enjoyed it later on in life because, I didn't have full control of my functions, of my sexual function. So could have been better, but she definitely did her part. It wasn't any fault of hers, not at all. This is some good champagne too. I know better. This is some good sparkling wine, some good bubbly. What do y'all think about a Saturday podcast? Do y'all think that would be something that would work for people in here? I'm curious. Shit, I got to think about if that would even work for me because the way I be traveling on the weekends, Saturday is pretty much out of it. Saturday is out. That's like I'm definitely somewhere else on a Saturday. Not all the time, but a lot of times. I'm out on the weekend. So I'm asking that question, but I need to make sure that Saturday actually is realistic for me because I know a lot of people are off on the weekends. And I'd love to have different people on that are off on the weekends, but you know, I also got to be off. I also have to be available. So maybe not Saturday, but I think I could try Fridays and see if Fridays can work, but it's damn traveling thing, man. Why I always got to be somewhere? I don't know. I don't know. Speaking of that, I am going to be in Arizona hopefully this weekend looking at some property, some land property that I'm trying to get and so I can start getting into this little thing that I'm trying to do. I don't give too much info, but uh yeah, definitely trying to see what's happening with that. So that'll be a fun little birthday gift to myself is to, travel to Arizona, take a little quick road trip and see what's over there, man. See what kind of land is available. All right, y'all. Where y'all with the experiences? I'm trying to hear what y'all got for me. What's y'all favorite episode or favorite episodes? What are your favorite moments of the podcast over the past year? What are y'all drinking on? I could wait though. I could wait. We got time. It's been too long since I've been on YouTube, so we definitely gonna be patient tonight. Take it slow. Hmm. Mm, very true. Let me put my banner up. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video if you haven't already, and if you're enjoying the content. Also, I have many other videos on this channel. I've got other podcast episodes. I've got tips and recommendations about living a better sexual life. I've also gotten, or I also have a few videos on advice on how to do other things as well, like getting over procrastination, for example. So definitely get into the content on my channel. I am at 6,000 and 6,000. Yeah, right. I'm not there yet. That's the drink talking. I'm at 650 something subscribers. So definitely remember to subscribe and share the page with other people that you feel like may be able to, enjoy or take something positive out of this content. I'm trying to get to 1,000, of course. That way I can do different things like go on live using different devices, mobile devices, and not necessarily have to be in a stationary place. And obviously that'll give me a lot more flexibility when doing my live. So I'll be able to bring you into a whole different side of my world in terms of the podcast and maybe even vlogging, um, but live vlogging when I'm able to do that. So definitely hit that subscribe button when you get a chance, and yeah, share this with people that you feel like could use this information. And don't forget, this is the podcast about dating, sex, situationships, and relationships, and we go in deep in all aspects of those. No, well, all pun intended. Where my people's at? Where y'all at? I know this is late, but this is our time, 9. That's another thing I can consider as well as going at 5 instead of at 6, in case that makes more sense for people. Because being on the East Coast this past week, I was like, man, 9 o'clock is kind of late. Even though we are talking about, hold on, let me wipe the camera a little bit. I don't know how much that helped, but I'm still getting some type of light glare off of this thing. Hold on, give me a second. Maybe that helped. Not really. I think it's just the way the light is hitting. But what I was gonna say was, yeah, 9 o'clock is kind of late. So I understand if 9 o'clock is like after the time that people are available. So I will try 5 p.m. and see how that works for people as well. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and see if that works for people as well, and see if more people are available at that time. I think another one of my favorite episodes too was talking about being the rebound guy. it was an episode where I definitely kind of like went back to that space for a little bit. I mean, not deep into the space because it was so long ago, but I definitely went back into the space enough to where I was like, man, yeah, I remember that. And, um, I felt some of the emotion of what it felt like um, while I was telling the stories. But that was good because, again, this podcast is meant not to hide away from issues and not to cover things up. It's a podcast about transparency, and it's also a podcast about self improvement. And I think that the more honest you are with yourself about where you're at, the more or the better you can improve yourself. If you're lying to yourself or just not being totally real with what your situation is or where you're at, how are you really going to get out of that? How are you going to improve from that? So I think going into things in depth and really talking about things as they are, as opposed to being very surface level, helps a lot. And I think that's what, not I think, I know this is what I've wanted to accomplish with this podcast for myself. And I felt like in the process, there had to be at least one or two other people that this would affect and who could look at themselves in the mirror and say, oh shit, or I can relate to this, or this sounds a lot like my situation or a situation I've been in. And now I can approach that in a different way because I've heard somebody else talk about it. So again, that part about the integrity of the show is something that I really hold dear. I mean, because I could have easily gone for more views and popular topics and just look at what's happening in the media and talk about the same shit that everybody else talks about every week based on what's happening online. But that don't really do shit for me. I'm sorry. Like that doesn't do anything in terms of me feeling like I'm improving my life in any way or like I am reaching new heights, new levels of self-awareness. And for me, that's important. That is very important in life. So I I went in with that intention, and I feel like after a year, sure, my views are not what some podcasts are that talk about some of the same stuff. My subscribership is also not what some of those podcasts are, but that's okay. That's not what I came into this for. I came into this for the depth, for the quality. And not saying those other podcasts don't have quality. I'm saying that I had a vision for how I wanted this podcast to go. And in the first year, we've done that. I think we've done that together. As a group, as an audience, you've done that. You've helped me do that. You've helped me evolve in certain ways as well over the past year, and I expect to continue evolving. But you've also helped me keep that focus on what's really important, which is getting getting in deep and talking about things that really matter to me and hopefully matter to you as well, and really affecting people in a different way. That's just not entertainment. I want to entertain too, but I want to get deep with you all and with myself first and foremost. All right, so if y'all do not have any favorite moments that you want to mention, then I think I'm gonna call it. I think we've had a good celebration. I've had fun. I've caught you up on everything that's happening in my life right now. We've had some greetings and hellos from people abroad, and I appreciate that. Thank you again, Ariel, for the love. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you all next week. You already know I am looking forward to the conversation we're gonna have. Uh, I don't have it for you right now, but I'll have it for you next week, obviously. And keep on celebrating. If you watch this later on or listen to this later on, hopefully you're in a place or a position to have a glass of something or a cup of something or whatever you like to drink. And we could celebrate this together. All right. So thank you again for joining me on the Sex Mechanic Podcast, episode number 44. The celebration will continue, and I'll see you all next week. Peace out.